get started. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the UN Global Compact Network Australia's virtual open house session today. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. Next slide, please, Jessie. Actually, I can't see which slide you are on at the moment. Let me just change my screen. So firstly, I would like to acknowledge that this meeting and this presentation is being held on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and future. My name is Greta Korthaus. I'm the Stakeholder Engagement Manager at the UN Global Compact Network Australia. And with me on this call today is Simiao Yu, a Participant Engagement Regional Manager at the United Nations Global Compact. Feel free to share in the chat box your name, where you're joining from, your company, and maybe why you're here today. Next slide, please, Jessie. As this is a virtual open house, please e-meet the team. We are 10 team members, with the team having grown quite fast over the last months. Behind the scenes today is also Jessie Lu Lee, our coordinator events and communications. Thank you, Jessie. But also we have our board member, Howard Wiggum, on the call with us. Thanks for joining, Howard, and for leaving the camera on. Great to see you here. Next slide, please, Jessie. So before we begin, I'd like to run over housekeeping. Please use the chat function at the bottom of your screen to introduce yourself and to ask questions, any questions that might come up. Please use the raise hand function for questions after the presentation. And if you have any technical issues, please contact us on the phone number listed on the slide. We will have time for Q&A at the end of today's session. And again, for any questions that come up during the presentation, please enter those in the chat box as we go. Next slide, please, Jessie. So in today's presentation, we will introduce ourselves both on the global and the local level. We will talk about how we support business, talk you through the benefits and the business case of joining the Global Compact, and we'll answer your questions. So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Simiao, to introduce the United Nations Global Compact.
Thank you so much, Greta. Welcome to the open house, everyone. So first, let me tell you about the UN Global Compact. We are the United Nations Corporate Sustainability Initiative. It was back in the year 1999 at Davos. The former UN Secretary General, Mr. Kofi Annan, he proposed to initiate a global compact of shared values and principles to bring a human face to the global market. 40 companies and their CEOs, including companies like Nike, Unilever, Rio Tinto, they signed up at the time to create what is now the UN Global Compact. So that was 22 years ago. Next slide, please. And those companies, they committed to conduct business in a responsible manner by embedding a set of 10 principles into their core businesses. The 10 principles are universal and were derived from UN declarations and UN conventions that cover 4 key areas that you see on the left side of the screen here across labor, the environment, human rights, and anti-corruption. So participants in the UN Global Compact, they commit to align their strategies and operations with the 10 principles you see on the left, and also to commit to advance the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs you see on the right side of the screen. So what we believe is that companies can contribute to the world's sustainability agenda by first committing to a set of 10 principles or those core values into their operations. And every CEO of participating companies of the UN Global Compact, they commit to embedding these principles into their business strategies and operations. And those are a common ethical and practical framework for operationalizing corporate responsibility. And then in addition to those core values, we have a mandate to deliver the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which are a set of goals for a healthy, prosperous, and equal society. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that, but if you want to learn more, please do contact us and we're happy to talk more with you on that. And so working with the UN Global Compact, we are here working in a valued and principled way towards a set of ambitious goals like the SDGs. That is the way that we work together to deliver the world that we all want in the future. All right, next slide, please. So now we have become the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative, and we work with companies around the world to help them efficiently increase their sustainability impact. Currently, the initiative works with more than 15,000 companies from around the world, from 163 countries. Also, we have more than 3,800 non-business signatories. So we take this multi-sectorial and multi-stakeholder approach. Within such companies, about 2,500 of them are from the Asia and Oceania region. 202 of them are from Australia, and our region is also one of the fastest growing regions to join the initiative. So now is a significant time for you to also consider to join us. We have seen not only multinational companies, but also small and medium-sized enterprises are also actively engaging with us, and the growth rate in Australia is about 38%. So I highly recommend that you consider to have a conversation with us. And we can drive scale in a way that no other corporate sustainability initiative can, is because we have close to 70 local networks around the world. And those local networks are our local branches on the ground that provide local resources and activities to drive sustainable development in that particular country with the most relevant contacts and expertise. And you will hear more from Greta on the local and regional activities to help you deliver according to those 10 principles of the UN Global Compact. All right, so that is the UN Global Compact in brief. Next, I do want to share some data around the world's progress with you, because I was looking in the room, I see lots of sustainability professionals here with us today. So first, we see there is increasing awareness and action from the business community. CEOs are increasingly aware of global issues. Our annual survey last year showed 88% of companies are already taking actions on the SDGs, and that percentage went up by 4 percentage points from the year before, and that was during the pandemic. And then 90% of the companies already have policies and practices in place to deliver against the 10 principles of the UN Global Compact. CEOs are also increasingly aware of sustainability. 86% of the global CEOs, they agreed that the whole global and economic systems need to refocus on equitable growth. And next, so those are the good news, but then next we will also see that the world is actually not on track to deliver on the SDGs. Some data points to highlight on the slide. If we look at gender, for example, at the rate we're going right now, it will take 286 years to close the economic gender gap globally. It's so significant because before COVID-19, so 2 years before, it was 257 years to close the gender economic gap. So there has been a loss in progress due to the pandemic. We also know about the climate action issue as we are tracking towards 3 degrees temperature increase. So overall, we are 62 years behind schedule on the social progress index. We are still a long way from delivering the goals set up by the Agenda 2030. All right, next slide. We know the progress, we know where we need to be, what we need to do, and now the focus is to really scale this impact collectively and through collaboration. That's why your role is so important. I want to share this quote from our UN Deputy Secretary General. We are here to help companies, to enable companies of all sizes around the world, regardless of who you are, where you are, you can all contribute to address ESG, environment, social, and governance risks holistically, and then move beyond business as usual. All right, next, I want to tell you more about how specifically that we can help you to deliver on your goal and join this movement all together. The UN Global Compact Office with the Global Compact Network Australia, we are here to ensure that we're all working together with you to elevate your actions, and together we can deliver against those goals. And we have identified 7 specific areas where business community can have a strong impact. And we have designed a portfolio of initiatives, a portfolio of engagement opportunities to help you deliver on them. So after our consultations with stakeholders, we came up with these 7 focus areas that we believe business community can take the most responsibility on and have the most impactful way forward. So those focus areas are human rights, labor and decent work, climate change, anti-corruption, gender equality, SDG integration, which means how to understand the SDGs and how to integrate the relevant SDGs across your business, and then how to use them for innovation purposes. And the last one is transformational governance, which is tied to SDG goal number 16. So those are at the heart of the UN Global Compact 10 principles and the UN SDGs with our programmatic offerings. Right. So how exactly are we going to help you shape our support for companies like you? Next slide. So you see these are the four ways we can help you. Yeah, thank you, Jessie. So we do that by convening meaningful dialogue, providing relevant resources to enable progress and showing bold leadership for ambitious action. We are a networking platform. We help you make connections at the global and national level. We help you learn and then enable you to have the knowledge, the skills you need to make sustainable progress and deliver impact. Then we are ready to become a leader in shaping the world's sustainability agenda. We also help you lead by showing your bold leadership and inspire others. We provide you with the tools to leverage your position and advocate for impact. Last but not least, we also help you communicate and become a well-trusted, a well-regarded commentator and advisor on responsible business practices by communicating openly, transparently on your core challenges, your core actions. So I'm going to share more details with you one by one. So first, about Connect. We are able to connect you with experts, peers, and multilateral bodies at the global and national level through various events exclusively for participants of the Global Compact. Next slide. On the screen, you will see, yeah, here they are. These are some of our global flagship events for this year. I know it's already in June, but I just want to show you our events for the year, just for your reference. And for the next year, we have similar flagship events going to be shared with you. And those events are exclusively for participants of the UN Global Compact, and you get unlimited access. You can invite your employees to join those events. And I want to share a particular example. You see Leader Summit that just took place about 2 weeks ago. And that event was open to all participants within the UN Global Compact and all of their employees within the company. We had more than 20,000 business leaders, sustainability professionals, and all personnel working regardless of their function. They joined our heads of state, governmental leaders, public sector leaders on a broad range of topics around sustainability. So it's a great place for people to come together, virtually meet each other, connect, and then learn from each other, not only from the high level keynotes, but also from working level sharing on how to really deliver on the sustainability agenda for each company. Also great gathering. And we also had the in-person component in Southeast Asia region in Bangkok, a UN hub in Bangkok. It was also great to have our momentum there and then seeing companies sharing the same mindset, sharing same challenges to come together and chat about those important topics. So these are the global flagship events. And now I'm going to pass it to Greta to share more resources, particularly for the local businesses. Greta, over to you.
Thank you, Simiao. Okay, so there's several regional and thematic events. Last year, the local network Australia hosted over 25 events, including a number of large dialogues and forums. In 2022, we are continuing to deliver events such as a modern slavery community of practice, as well as workshops on topics such as science-based targets and others. Our website hosts a number of publications which are currently available to download for free, and we host publication launches with the authors. When there are updates or changes in the landscape, we created timely events. An example is our 21 Days to COP26 event in late last year. We also hold a number of annual forums and dialogues, as just mentioned earlier. These events occur over a number of days, sometimes 2 days in a row, or as an event series, to dive more deeply into topics with various panel members, breakout groups, discussions, and networking opportunities. Major conferences will be held every 2 years to bring together people in person, obviously, with the next one scheduled for 2023. We will also talk more about future learning opportunities shortly. At this stage, it's just worth mentioning that our events program extends more broadly into what we call accelerator programs. These programs run over 6 months or more and give applicants the tools to implement actionable change within their organization. So the next slide, please, Jessie, with a bit more information on publications and learning coming up. Next slide again. So our UN Global Compact digital library is designed to help you find the resources you need to take the next step on your sustainability journey. There are many forms of guidance. Some examples on the slide include the family-friendly workplace guidance, or the SDG Ambition Guide, which aids in ambitious goal setting to deliver the 2030 agenda for the SDGs. Also showcased on this slide is our Integrating the SDGs into Corporate Reporting Practical Guide. This guide outlines a 3-step process to embed the Sustainable Development Goals into existing business and reporting processes. We at the UN Global Compact Network Australia produce guidance across our fields, such as our publication Fighting Bribery in Business, which is a guide for risk, compliance, and sustainability teams implementing adequate anti-bribery procedures. Also, very importantly, I'd like to point out a publication, Building a Net Zero Future, Australian Business Taking Science-Based Climate Action. In general, I would like to say that the UNGCNA is very open to suggestions in terms of topics and areas of interest, and we love working alongside participants. So that's something that is an additional value add. Next slide, please, Jessie. On this slide, you can see some screenshots of offerings such as our bite-sized learning videos. We also have a free podcast series that covers topics such as ethical investment and the SDGs, the path to net zero, and things like that. And last but not least, our news and events page gets updated according to upcoming event and learning opportunities. I would really love to suggest to anyone to subscribe to, or everyone to subscribe to a monthly bulletin, which provides an up-to-date summary of anything coming up globally, regionally, and locally, and it's not participant-only content. Well, now back to Simiao for information about online training.
Thank you so much, Greta. So within the online training, we have the Global Compact Academy. The Academy is the UN Global Compact's leading edge learning platform. It provides business leaders and practitioners with the skills and knowledge they need to move their companies further, faster in implementing the 10 principles and the SDGs. So what I see it is a one-stop shop where you can find a wide selection of innovation learning opportunities to help you advance your sustainability efforts. And it's designed to help you as a professional and as a company at large. I see many companies already incorporated this learning platform as part of their internal training platform for engagement purposes. And once you join the UN Global Compact, all of your employees, all of your colleagues will be able to get access to the academy. So it's unlimited access for you all. And it means that you can use it even for a human resource training and capacity tool. And we're able to help you generate learning reports for you to keep the learning journey within the company, to keep it tracked, and it's a great engagement tool. All right, so next slide, you also see a screenshot of our platform. We have multiple types of courses on the platform. There are some virtual how-to sessions on key areas towards delivering the goals. We invite experts of the issue area to talk about the conceptual component. We also invite business leaders to talk about their practical actions taken. There are also some self-guided e-learning modules to help participants learn concepts in their own time, in their own pace. We also have some inspirational change maker or influencer series for leaders from the business world and the United Nations to come together to share their thoughts, their ideas to inspire future thought leadership. So this is a screenshot you see on the right. And again, this is unlimited to you and all of your employees within the company. Once you join, people can navigate through different topics on sustainability and different languages to select the course that they want to take action on. So that's the learning platform of the UN Global Compact. All right, and then Greta, I'll pass it back to you to talk more about the next piece of learning and capacity building.
Thanks, Simiao. So for a more integrated learning process, we have the accelerator programs, which range from 6 to 12 months, focusing on specific areas. They're based on thought leadership work and are designed for companies to make tangible changes in the processes and activities in their business. It is a program to enable businesses to really set goals and take the action to deliver. The box on the left-hand side, the navy color, displays information about the SDG Ambition Accelerator, which we will be running again starting in October this year. The first round, which just finished, had some very positive feedback from our participants. And the SDG Ambition Accelerator really is for sees 1 to 2 company representatives attend over that 6 months period on a monthly basis. So you have the peer-to-peer learning opportunity. And it's for companies who wish to learn more as to how to integrate these very high-level SDG sort of topics into their business. We have also just started our Climate Ambition Accelerator last month, and also a 6-month program assisting companies with setting a science-based target, as well as setting the pathway to get to net zero by 2050. The next round for this program will be, it'll start in mid-2023. In the next step, Simiao will talk us through the lead and communicate steps of membership. Thanks, Simiao.
Thank you, Greta. So about lead, I mentioned it briefly previously. So for leaders who want to shape and lead to showcase their bold leadership and inspire others, we are currently developing several programs to help companies do so. We have cross-functional multi-sectoral approach to identify key business challenges and identify what best practices will look like. So for example, these are the coalitions that we have created. And those are multi-stakeholder working groups for companies who want to take more leadership on a particular topic. We invite you to come together to form thought leadership on that particular issue area to deliver the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So what we do is we work with companies, like-minded companies who want to take on more leadership role, and partners such as other specialized UN agencies and other organizations in these multi-stakeholder coalitions. We have, for example, we have the CFO task force. So it's a platform that we invite all CFOs to interact with their peer CFOs, with investors and the financial institutions and the United Nations together to share ideas, to develop new concepts, new frameworks, and then provide recommendations to unlock private capital and to create a market for mainstreaming SDG investments. So that's just one example of the coalition. And next, I want to talk about communicate. I think that's actually one of the top reasons why companies join the UN Global Compact. We work with companies to communicate on their measurable progress against the 10 principles and the UN SDGs. So the UN Global Compact, so next slide, please. Thank you, Jessie. We incorporate a transparency and accountability policy known as the Communication on Progress. It's a principles-based reporting framework. It's an annual requirement for all companies in the UN Global Compact to apply. It helps companies to better track progress and foster goal setting in a public and open platform, which clearly tracks a company's progress for all of the stakeholders to understand and to measure. Then, once you report to the UN Global Compact, it can also help you to set more ambitious and credible goals and targets, and then benchmark against your peers, because the data will be in a public domain. All of your stakeholders, regardless of investors or your peers or your employees, they can keep track of your information. And we created multiple resources for companies along the reporting journey, so you can always meet your goals effectively and you get support along the way. Next, there are many other ways that companies can publicly showcase their commitment and progress on the UN Global Compact platform. And every company that joins the initiative will obtain a company profile, a participant profile, which is a great place for you to showcase your activities, your report to the UN Global Compact on progress. You can also link your social media feeds, a video about sustainability on your public platform. We also provide a media toolkit for companies to utilize, and it provides detailed guidance, design files for you to use in your press release messages and in your social media channels to really communicate this very special and very important commitment broadly. Next, I also want to talk about the business case on corporate sustainability, because it's really clear that there's a strong business case when you incorporate sustainability into your business and into business operations and strategies. Next, you read on the slide that when a company incorporates sustainability in its strategy and operations, it improves so many performances, from customer loyalty to employee relations, stakeholder engagement, and so on. It also delivers short and long-term value creation for the bigger society. And if you're interested to learn more about the business case on corporate sustainability, please do reach out to me and Greta. We're happy to have a more tailored conversation with you. All right, so now I'm sure many colleagues on the call here are interested in learning more about how to join the initiative. So Greta, over to you on telling us more about how to join.
Thanks, Simiao. You're joining the UN Global Compact is easy. Next slide, please, Jessie. The first step is to review the application guidelines, which you can find in that URL link you can see at the bottom of this slide. The second step is the preparation of your letter of commitment. In this letter, your organization commits to the 10 principles and to together help us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And the third step and last step is to fill out the online application form. Next slide, please. So a summary of the benefits. The UN Global Compact provides a universal language for corporate responsibility and provides a framework to guide all businesses, regardless of size, complexity, or location. We are your guide every step of the way. We'll help you commit to, assess, define, implement, measure, and communicate your sustainability strategy. UNGCNA members, so local network members, have unprecedented networking access to other UN Global Compact participants who are representing nearly every industry, sector, and size in over 160 countries, 163, I think, through a range of exclusive member-only events. They help shape national and international dialogue through the UNGCNA's thought leadership work and consultations with government on emerging and critical issues. And they have access to partnerships and other opportunities for collaboration with a range of stakeholders to share best practices and emerging solutions. Next slide, please, Jessie. Here's a recap of how you can join the Global Compact. So, oh, sorry, I just lost the slide. Complete the application form, including providing a letter of commitment from your CEO or highest level executive, and complete the UNGCNA membership form. Contact us if you would like to discuss the initiative further or if you need help with your application. Simiao and I are your best points of contact. Once you've joined us, or joined up, we'll get you to we get you access to the UN Global Compact dashboard, which means the Academy, and the UNGCNA's member area to ensure that your logo and organization profile are on the website and updated. And then you can join us as we work with you to meet your sustainability goals. You can see that the UN Global Compact is not a performance or assessment tool. It does not provide a seal of approval, nor does it make judgments on performance. We encourage you to treat the UN Global Compact as a platform for you to connect, learn, lead, and communicate. It is designed to stimulate change and to promote corporate sustainability and encourage innovative solutions and partnerships. Again, I will be your best point of contact for any questions and to assist you in the process. And I will also be your main point of contact during your membership, throughout your membership. If you'd like to learn more, Simiao and myself are offering calls to any interested organizations, or I can send you an email with further information. Now, that is a lot of information. We are very aware of this. So I would like to open up for questions. One question I saw coming through before was, is the Academy open to individuals or people who are not, or companies that are not participants? The short answer is no. Participating companies or members, as you know, participants are members, get access to the Academy. And what that also means, as Simiao mentioned before, is that all staff get access. Even if your company joins here in Australia and has overseas staff, the Academy is access to everyone, with the option for individual staff members to create their own learning plans. You can also request from the Academy team on the global level, regular reports that show you which staff members have taken which courses and classes and have completed which sort of areas of, you know, which topics. So you would have to become a participant to access the Academy. I've just seen another question come through. Very good question. If your organization is not yet joined. Okay, thank you for that. Are there any further questions from anyone who is on the call at the moment? Please raise your hand. Yes, a recording will be available of this session. Jessie will send out an email to everyone who has registered for today, so you will automatically receive the recording. We also put these on our YouTube channel, just in case you are looking for it. So thank you for bringing that up. Did we have any further questions, Jessie, that I might have missed during the presentation that are further up? I'm just having a little look. Okay.
We do have one just following the first question. Do you have any training resources available at an individual level, or is it only for member organizations?
Yes, yeah, that is basically what I was sort of trying to get to earlier. Thank you, Jessie. So individuals cannot join the Global Compact. It's the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative, and therefore it's not open for individuals. However, if you are part of an organization that would like to join, yes, you would get access to the Academy and all the content. And Holly just asked, is the cost of the membership based on company size and revenue? Fantastic question. Thank you very much. Yes. When you join, we would ask you to let us know what your annual revenue in Australia in US dollar is. And there are categories that you would then fall into that would determine your membership fees. We invoice our participants at the end of the calendar year to cover the following calendar year. So if you joined today, then you would be invoiced on a pro rata basis. If your organization happens to be a subsidiary to an overseas existing participant, let me use the example of L'Oréal, whose parent company is based in France. They have an Australian subsidiary, and they have joined as a subsidiary, which then makes you eligible for reduced fees. So I'm more than happy to send you through our fee structure in an email. Is there provision for not-for-profits? Yes. So non-business participants have a very much reduced fee. And again, I'm more than happy to share this via email. We might even, Jessie, when we send out the summary email, add the fee structure, the link to it. Great questions. Thank you very much. Is there anything else that's...
Yeah, Greta, I can see one more question. Do you have any resources I can share with our senior management that will inspire them to join?
Yes, there is in fact a slide deck not dissimilar to what we have gone with you through today that has I think about 9 slides on the business case, which I find very compelling. Lots of numbers and statistics on what CEOs say is the reason for joining the UNGC and us, the UNGCNA. So I'd be more than happy to share those as well. There is a value proposition brochure I would be more than happy to share with you as well. Yeah, great question. Thank you, Sandra. So Sandra just asked, what opportunities are there to network with other companies working towards similar goals in similar locations and with similar markets? So when you join us here on the local network level, one of the key value adds is the peer learning opportunities. We talked about the SDG and the Climate Ambition Accelerator programs, but we also, as I said before, run the Modern Slavery Community of Practice, which is a regular get-together of those who look after the human rights modern slavery space in their businesses, and to get together and talk about emerging topics and changes in this space. These events are held under Chatham House rules, which opens up a more, let me say, a deeper conversation. We have just started our Insight series last week. We have 4 work streams, with our business and human rights work stream kicking this off about the topic responsible corporate exits from territories experiencing gross human rights violations. That's a mouthful. And that was, again, it was a panel sort of presentation, but also was open for a Q&A at the very end. And these Insight series will be held by each of the work streams throughout the year. There's much more. I'm a bit conscious of time, but I'm more than happy, Sandra, to maybe set up a call and talk you through what else is coming up. There are definitely events that we do every year and that are basically part of our staple offering, but I also undertake stakeholder mapping and ask our participants what it is that is of value to them and that they would like to see us address. So we pivot a lot, and with the recent federal elections, we are responding to that as well. We have a net zero roundtable event coming up at the end of July, but also we do participants drinks, for example. So there's a bit of networking and socializing involved. One thing I would like to also mention is that we invite participants who would say they have subject matter expertise or there's thought leadership in a specific space. We invite you to join us as part of panel discussions, or maybe work with us on publications. So that's something we are open to as well, to showcase your work in this space. Do you have further information on what the MS Community of Practice group have worked on and the outcomes so far? That's a good question. I don't, because I haven't attended, and because it is under Chatham House rules, I would really have to ask our human rights manager, Chris, to provide some more information. What I can tell you is that the Modern Slavery Community of Practice is being held every quarter, and it's a real, I would say, draw card for membership, because participants see a lot of value in being able to discuss what issues really are and how to maybe address them and exchange information. We have split the group into an implementing stream and an optimizing stream for those who sort of I suppose, self-assess as beginners or not very mature in the space, as opposed to those who see themselves as advanced and mature in the space. But I'd be more than happy to send through further information to you, Holly. And then Jane just asked, I saw you sent a letter to the Prime Minister last year. Has the new one been reminded, please? I don't think he has. I shall bring this up with the team. That's a great comment. Thank you, Jane. Are there any further questions? I feel I'm talking a lot here. Have I missed anything, Jessie, Simiao, anything you would like to add at your end?
Yeah, Greta, your answers were so great. And to address Sandra's question, I want to add another piece, is the UN Global Compact Office will also add something called peer learning groups and in-practice exchange. I don't know if you call that in my presentation about the Academy. We are going to add that component to the Academy learning platform in later this year. So what we do is we will put leading companies in the seat to share a common challenge and what they did to solve the challenge, and then open up to all of the peers and experts for questions and advice to really help you address the question. So who is already doing it and who's doing it well? How can I learn from my peers? So I hope this component will also help you with that question.
Great. Is there anything else that I haven't covered? I'm just skimming questions again. So really, Sandra or anyone else who is interested in upcoming events, there is a whole list of events that I can send through, but I would really like to encourage everyone to sign up to our monthly bulletin, because that really summarizes everything that's coming up on the local level, the regional level, which is what Simiao oversees, and the global level. Maybe one last word, the accelerator programs that we looked at are being offered on the global level, but also by other local networks, and you can access this content via the academy that we talked about. You can attend other accelerator programs. The only caveat is that we are based in Australia, and therefore sometimes the time zones don't quite work out, unfortunately, but you will get access to recordings. With the academy, I would really like to outline that having seen many online learning platforms, the academy is very much tailored obviously to the 10 principles and the SDGs, and it does provide wonderfully curated content, and it picks you up where you are. So you can do fundamentals and sort of baseline, beginners courses, but you can also do deep dives and master classes. You can watch recordings. There's a lot of publications there, and they cover topics from creating your reconciliation action plan to starting to understand scopes 1, 2, and 3. So it's a whole range of topics that gets offered, and again, it's by level of sort of expertise, but also by topic and by language. I know we've covered a lot. Again, a link is coming through with the recording. I would be more than happy to set up a call and answer further questions and help you to join the program if you like. And yes, please sign up to the monthly bulletin.